as the ISM rises. If the ISM hits its usual cycle peak, which is between 56 and 65, this kind of race to change Bitcoin will make prices much higher, and that will tell us how much Bitcoin has gone up. We don't know for sure how high the ISM will go this cycle yet. But if it goes over $60, 0 cents, I mean, those are really high Bitcoin prices. That's more than $300,000, 0 cents, or even more. Having said that, this will open up a huge number of amazing trading opportunities for you. You could make millions of dollars if you take full advantage of these market chances, especially with XRP, which is expected to do much better than almost every other digital asset in the top 100 right now. That being said, you guys need to listen all the way to the end because I'm going to give you some seriously great tips on how to make the most of this. That being said, let's listen to what Raoul Pal has to say first. He has a lot of interesting and new things to share with us today. Click like so everyone can see it. And now watch the movie. I'm saying that 35% pullbacks are normal. You tell me, oh my God, my portfolio is down 80%. That's because you're not following the don't F up theory, which says that you should only hold a small amount of smaller tokens in your portfolio. Julian and I made this chart of World M2 in dollars, which is 10 weeks ahead of Bitcoin. Now, we weren't sure if it would exactly go like this because we saw a similar pattern in global M2 in 2017 during the last Trump cycle. And what happened was that crypto fell 35% in a week and then slowly rose again with chop. To follow this trend, I wasn't sure if we were going to have the full sell-off or if we were just going to stay the same during that time. We finally went sideways and then had a sell-off. Either way, it's going exactly as planned for global M2, what it wants you to know. Last year, the dollar rose in anticipation of Trump, and interest rates went up in anticipation of tariffs, which made it harder for people to get loans. That's what's playing now. Now that changes if you look at the chart going forward. There will be a time of chop, yes. This is where we'll find the lows. I'll say more about that in a moment. Next, there's some chop, and then we start to go back up the other side. That's why you shouldn't worry about it. Changes are part of the game. When prices go down, there isn't enough fluctuation to get returns of 150% or more when prices go up. The state of the economy is kind of the big daddy of all of this. The months and 3 months rates of change for Bitcoin are based on the state of the economy, which is 3 months ahead of time. It's clear that the dollar and interest rates back in last year made things tougher in the banking world. Bitcoin has now fully priced that in. That's where the price is now. Then, could it move back and forth along the bottom until it starts to reflect the rise in the economy? Perhaps. This chart looks a lot like the global M2 chart too, since they are all very closely linked. I want to show it to you another way. A lot of people are talking about the next picture, which shows that the economy is about to get weaker. Bad economic news is coming out. It is, yes, and the dollar was the main reason for it last year. Once more, there's a lead here. And the economy is weak because the dollar got stronger last year. This is why everyone wants the dollar to be lower. China wants the dollar to lose value so they can grow. They want to excite badly. The world owes a lot of money in dollars. They need the dollar to fall in order to pay their bills. To send things abroad, the US needs the dollar to be weaker. The world economy needs the dollar to be less strong. However, we will first look at how the US economy has been getting worse since last year's changes in the dollar. After that, things will change once more. The economy will also get better. Since the economy isn't doing as well, that probably also means that rates will go down. In light of this, we think that things will get better financially in the future. And so it's still making a stronger case for the good. There won't be a slump. Talk like that doesn't make sense. The economy will get worse for a short time and then get better. All of this is good for us though. Yes, there is some worry in tech stocks about slower growth. When we use analysis to look ahead though, we can see that growth is just around the corner. If we look back to 2017 when Trump took office, we saw a lot of the same things. If you think about it, economic shocks dropped like a cliff because the dollar got stronger before Trump took office. In the end, that turned around. The economy sped up a lot and the dollar lost a lot of value. This caused a very big crypto and risk cycle even though the Fed was raising rates. The most important thing here is the state of the world's finances, which could be controlled by the US, China, or Europe. It might be any of these big economies, or it might be all of them. We can already see that things like the dollar-yen are moving a lot more as the dollar gets weaker. As you can see, the dollar-yen is very important because the euro-dollar system is based on Japanese banks. They are the ones who lend dollars to the world economy, which serves as a back way into China so that China can pay its dollar debts. And if the dollar is weaker, China can weaken its current policy, or boost more strongly. A lot of money needs to be printed by the government in order to help the real estate market and other areas of the non-performing loan market that have gone bankrupt. Anyway, that's all there is to it. The dollar is very similar now to it was back then. Trump said at the time that the dollar was too strong. With Scott Bessent, they've already talked about it. They've talked about the long end of rates. What they want is the dollar. To get the tariffs in place, they will use the dollar as a trading chip with the Chinese, the Europeans, the Canadians, and the Mexicans. In return, they will make the dollar less strong, which is good for everyone. After that, the world economy should be strong, and we can all move forward with it. The back end of rates, which includes rates for 10 years and other things, yeah, that will help you too, because your bills and business loans will become less expensive. This means that everyone will have more money, which is good for the economy. All of this is coming up. It's very clear that's what they want to do. In 2017, Global M2 went through the exact same cycle with the same type of management and pricing policies. The dollar moved in the same way that the markets moved. Again, don't think these will be perfect, but this will likely start to happen again. M2 will keep going up all year if this is true. That means that crypto and risky investments like tech will do well all year. Global M2 is another way to look at it. There are times when it kind of binds together. Crypto winter and crypto spring are the names for those times. As spring gives way to summer, M2 breaks out and then goes back to testing. The breakout and repeat are over. What takes place is when that retest happens, it's usually the start of step 1 of the banana zone correction. September, October, and November were the first months of the banana zone. Then we start making changes. We keep making changes and then we take off again. That's the only thing at stake. It makes sense. It's going through a very common cycle. The business cycle is another thing that makes all of this happen. There you have it. The business cycle is caused by money, liquidity, and other things like that. But this is how companies work when things get easier with money. If the ISM number is above 50, it means that the economy is beginning to grow. Now there's strong economic growth, but it's all thanks to the government. But both Trump and Bessent have said that they want the private sector to take over. In other words, they want the ISM to rise. For the private sector to start growing, they want normal businesses to do so. Bitcoin is also driven by regular businesses growing. To sum up, Raupel is saying that we are getting ready for a very exciting summer. Like Europe, M2 is going up because rates have been dropped and China and Japan are printing money. While the US may be a little behind the times, it's been made very clear by Trump, the Treasury Secretary, and almost everyone else in the government that the dollar needs to be down. In essence, they're saying that we need to print more money to get more cash on hand so that business can get back to normal. Small, medium, and big businesses